live. That's the camera wanted to act.
Where's the Bibles? All right.
All right, we are live, guys. Live stream number 2 of the Reading the Holy Scriptures podcast.
Where we at, guys? Who remember where we left off on these scripts?
We were, let's see, definitely past chapter 10.
We might only have 2 of them today. I think Natalie took one with her on a road trip.
All right, well,
That's fine.
Where's mine?
There you go. I'll follow along with
Yeah,
that.
we'll chapter 1, verse 10.
Oh, you know what I'll do? Well, I'll watch the live stream on my laptop. If
Okay,
anyone
that
has
sounds
questions,
good.
If anyone has any questions, we can answer. I can read them and answer them. All right, perfect.
This is some good sage we have, cleaning the environment and giving us only positive energy. And somewhere along the line, we're gonna drop a little bit of frankincense on this too.
Make sure we are live. Let me just check it out. See what we got.
But anybody who doesn't know anything about smudging, smudging is a way of purifying the air in the room you're in. Simple as that. You have herbs that are designed to purify the air. And that's just what it means. You ever been in a room that's thick with bad energy? Well, you can clean that energy up by using herbs. And one of the tried and true herbs is sage and frankincense, of course.
Okay, this is awesome. If anyone has any questions in the comments, I can respond to them without a problem.
Okay, we're getting better with our lives, guys.
Yeah.
Where are we at, Godwin?
On verse 10.
Yeah.
Verse 10, huh?
Not verse 10,
Chapter
chapter
10.
10.
Okay, we're back at Jasher, guys. Chapter 10, verse 1. I'll read first,
Wait, here's the Bible here. Who?
since I'm the elder in the room. Ready?
Yes. All right. Here, you want to read you want to follow along with me?
And Peleg, the son of Eber,
Oh, hold on there. Sorry, what page are we on?
401. Chapter 10, verse 1.
Okay.
Jasher. Anybody join our live yet?
Not yet. Not yet.
Come on, guys. Climb on board. We'd love to have you on our live.
I think next week I'll do like a pre-announcement.
Oh, that way.
That way.
Can be ready to tune
That's
in
what I'll
with
do
you.
next week.
Oh yeah, that's what you got. You gotta let them know when we're going live so they can plan.
That's what I'm gonna do.
Okay.
Start that
Have a
next week.
schedule.
Yeah. We're gonna get better at this live stream every week, guys.
Dude, we'll have a schedule for all our videos.
Yes.
Yeah, that's good.
Okay.
We have some fishing videos soon.
like that.
Live stream catch.
And Peleg, the son of Eber, died in those days, in the 48th year of the life of Abram, son of Terah, and all the days of Peleg were 229 years.
39 years.
Oh, 239 years. I think my dog is eating the bathroom, guys.
Right.
Let me go get it.
All right. Quick pause, guys. Gotta go check on things.
Ah,
Jeez. Probably doing the stream this second.
This is awesome, though. Like, I really, this live stream is so cool.
We need to have it so like you just see that in the back. Like you don't see it like.
All the extras. Yeah. I'm not sure how I can do that yet.
stay here.
Maybe,
Leave it alone.
maybe bring it up. Maybe let me see if I can do it right now. Keep watching and see if I can fix it right now.
What is it?
Just need to bring this up a little bit more.
Yeah, before the
Okay.
The refrigerator is crooked for some reason.
Alright, let's see if that. I can fix
The
this.
one of your mics is on the fridge.
Okay. Alright. Shmuel's live stream. Alright, screenshot. Okay.
Y'all eat before y'all came? Yeah.
I did not. No.
Good wings anywhere around here? I like to be a wing.
We go to Wingstop in Wendell and get their wings. You like them wings from yesterday? I got them from Wingstop about 10 minutes from here. They got a new one in Wendell. Mm-hmm. All right, here we go. How does that look, Roman? Should be a little better. Okay, that's a little better. All right, that's better.
All right, here we go.
That's better. That's a lot better. I'm not gonna pull from this. There I go.
And Peleg, the son of Eber, died in those days, in the 48th year of the life of Abram, son of Terah, and all the days of Peleg were 239 years. And when the Lord had scattered the sons of men on account of their sin at the tower, behold, they spread forth into many divisions, and all the sons of men were dispersed into the four corners of the earth.
I do want to pause.
Go for it.
That last verse you finished, where it said, the four corners of the earth. You know, gotta be. This is for the viewers. Just to be real mindful of the words that are used in describing certain things and how they're described. You know, a ball can't have corners. So you know, if somebody's on the ball, how can they go to a corner?
And all the sons of men were dispersed into the four corners of the earth. That's something to think about. When I think of four corners, I'm thinking
Square.
Well, I'm thinking directions, north, south, east, and west. That's what I'm thinking. But as I never thought about corner can't be on the ball.
Right. I think that's the flat Earth theory, right? Or
Well, I could see four corners being four. 1, 2,
Yeah.
3,
Yeah. So
4.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's corners.
yeah, something.
And that shows east, north, south, east, west as well. Within that four corner radius.
Let us know in the comments if you guys think the Earth is round or flat. That'd be a good comment debate.
And all the families became each according to its language, its land, or its city. And the sons of men built many cities according to their families, in all the places where they went, and throughout the earth where the Lord had scattered them. And some of them built cities and places from which they were afterward extirpated. And they called these cities after their own names, or the names of their children, or after their particular occurrences. And the sons of Japheth, the son of Noah, went and built themselves cities in the places where they were scattered, and they called all their cities after their names. And the sons of Japheth were divided unto the face of the earth into many divisions and languages. And these are the sons of Japheth. I know I keep pronouncing that name wrong, guys. Japheth, according to their families: Gomer, Magog, Madai, Javan, Tubal, Meshach, and Teres. These are the children of Japheth, according to their generations. And the children of Gomer, according to their cities, were the Frankum, who dwell in the land of Franza, by the river Franza, by the river Sina. And the children of Rephath are the Bartium, who dwell in the land of Bartona, by the river Lida, which empties into waters in the great sea Galhon, and that is Oceanus. God. And the children of Tugama,
Tagorma.
and the children of Tugarma are 10 families, and these are their names. Here we go.
Wait, put your seat in a little bit more. Just, like,
Do what?
Yeah, you want me to scoot over to him? You want me to scoot over?
that's good.
These are the children of Tugarma, are 10 families, and these are their names: Buzar, Parzuka, Balgar, Eli, Canim, Ragbad, Tarkai, Big, Zebuk, Ongol, and Tesmah. All these spread and rested in the north and built themselves cities. All these spread and rested in the north. That Jersey and New York? All these spread and rested in the north and built themselves cities. And they called their cities after their own names. Those are they who abide by the rivers Hittala and Ilak. Lake unto this day. But the families of Angula, Balgar, and Perzugak, they dwell by the great river Dubni, and the names of their cities are also according to their own names. And the children of Javan are the Javanium, who dwell in the land of
Macedonia, maybe?
Macedonia.
Macedonia.
Macedonia? That's Macedonia?
Macedonia. Macedonia.
Macdona. Marcadona. The children of Medaria are the Orlam that dwell in the land of Curson, and the children of Tubal are those that dwell in the land of Turkshna by the river Pasaya.
Yeah.
And the children of Meshek,
That sounds good.
Meshek
Yeah, I think that's right.
are the Sabasium, and the children of Terras are Rash, Ash, Cushan, and Ongolis. All these went and built themselves cities. Those are the cities that are situated by the sea, Jabus, by the river Kua,
I haven't charged my back.
which empties itself in the river Targum. And the children of Elasa are, and the children of Elasa are the Almanium, and they also went and built themselves cities. Those are the cities situated between the mountains of Job and Shebathmu. And of them were the people of Lubarda, who dwell opposite the mountains of Job, and Shebathmu. And they conquered the land of Italy. Is that Italy?
Italia.
Italia, in the land of Italia, and remained there unto this day. And the children of Chittim are the Romum, who dwell in the valley of Canopia, Canopia by the river Tiberum. And the children of Dudum are those who dwell in the cities of the sea Galhom, in the land of Bordea. These are the families of the children of Jahath, according to their cities and languages, where they were scattered after the tower. And they called their cities after their names and occurrences. And these are the names of all of their cities according to their families, which they built in those days after the tower. And the children of Ham were Cush, Mizraim, Pudim, and Canaan, according to their generation and cities. All these went and built themselves cities as they found fit places for them. And they called their cities after the names of their fathers: Cush, Mizraim, Put, and Canaan. And the children of Mizraim are the Ludim, Anium, Lehadium, Nethershium, Pathrisim, Calchim, and Captorium. 7 families. All these dwell by the river Shior, that is the brook of Egypt. And they built themselves cities and called them after their own names. And the children of Pathros and Calshloch intermarried together. And from them went forth the Pelisthium and the Asatium.
Guys, I think
Maybe had different words than ours. Yeah.
And the Gurium,
Yeah, it's not even.
the
See what I'm saying?
Gathium, and the Ecrium, and all 5 families. These also built themselves cities, and they called their cities after the names of their fathers unto this day. And the children of Canaan also built themselves cities, and they called their cities after their names. 11 cities and others without number. And 4 men from the family of Ham went to the land of the plain. These are the names of the 4 men: Sodom, Gomorrah, Amiram, and Zeboim. And 4 men from the family of Ham went to the land of the plain. These are the names of the 4 men: Sodom, Gomorrah, Adamah, and Zeboim. And these men built themselves 4 cities in the land of the plain, and they called the names of their cities after their own names. And they and their children and all belonging to them dwelt in those cities, and they were fruitful and multiplied greatly and dwelt peaceably. And Asir, the son of Un, son of Hava, son of Canaan, went and found a valley opposite to Mount Panran, and he built a city there. And he and his 7 sons and his household dwelt there. And he called the city which he built Sur, according to his name. That is the land of Sur unto this day. These are the families of the children of Ham. These are the families of the children of Ham, according to their language and cities, when they were scattered to their countries after the tower. And some of the children of Shem, son of Noah, father of all the children of Eber, also went and built themselves cities in the places wherein they were scattered, and they called their cities after their names. And the sons of Shem were Elam, Asher, Pashud, Lud, and Aram. And they built themselves cities and called the names of all their cities after their names. And Asher, son of Shem, and his children, and household went forth at that time, a very large body of them. And they went to a distant land that they found, and they met with a very intensive valley in the land that they went to. And they built themselves 4 cities, and they called them after their own names and occurrences. And these are the names of the cities which the children of Asher built: Nineveh, okay, Racine, Calech, and Rehob, and the children of Ash,
Is Asher maybe? Ashur?
Yes, that's true.
and the children of Asher dwell there unto this day. And the children of Aram also went and built themselves a city, and they called the name of the city Uz. After the children of Aram also went and built themselves a city, and they called the name of the city Uz, after their eldest brother. And they dwelt therein. That is the land of Uz to this day. Uz to this day. And in the 2nd year after the tower, a man from the house of Asher, whose name was Bela, went from the land of Nivea to sojourn with his household whenever he could find a place. And they came until opposite the cities of the plain against Sodom. And they dwelt there. And the man rose up and built there a small city, and called its name Bela, after his name. That is the land of Zor unto this day. And these are the families of the children of Shem, according to their languages and cities, after they were scattered upon the earth after the tower. And every kingdom, city, and family of the families of the children of Noah built themselves many cities after this. And they established governments in all their cities in order to regulate by their orders. So did all the families of the children of Noah forever. Whew, I made it. Chapter 11, Roman 8.
Oh, I'm out.
Oh. Okay.
Okay, chapter 11. And Nimrod, son of Cush, was still in the land of Shinar, and he reigned over it, and dwelt there. And he built cities in the land of Shinar. And these are the names of the 4 cities which he built. And he called their names after the occurrences that happened to them, in the building of the tower. And he called the first Babel, saying, because the Lord there confounded the language of the whole earth. And the name of the second he called Erech, because from there God dispersed them. And the third he called Eched, saying there was a great battle at that place. And the fourth he called Calneh, because his princes and mighty men were consumed there. And they vexed the Lord, and they rebelled against him and transgressed against him. Oh, they vexed the Lord, they rebelled and transgressed against him. And when Nimrod had built these cities in the land of Shinar, he placed in them the remainder of his people, his princes and his mighty men that were left in his kingdom. And Nimrod dwelt in Babel, and he renewed his reign over the rest of his and he there renewed his reign over the rest of his subjects, and he reigned securely. And the subjects and the names of Nimrod the subjects and princes of Nimrod called his name Amraphel, saying that at the tower his princes and men fell through his means. And notwithstanding this, Nimrod did not return to the Lord, and he continued in wickedness and teaching wickedness to the sons of men. And Mardon his son was worse than his father, and continued to add to the abominations of his father. And he caused the sons of men to sin. Therefore it is said, from the wicked goeth forth wickedness. At that time there was war between the families of the children of Ham, as they were dwelling in the cities which they had built. And Shedorlaomer, king of Elam, went away from the families of the children of Ham, And he fought them, and he subdued them. And he went to the 5 cities of the plain, and he fought against them, and he subdued them. And they were under his control. And they served him 12 years, and they gave him a yearly tax. At that time died Nahor, son of Serug, in the 49th year of the life of Abram, son of Terah. In the 50th year of the life of Abram, son of Terah, Abram came forth from the house of Noah, and he went to his father's house. And Abram knew the Lord, and he went in his ways and instructions. And the Lord his God was with him. And Terah his father was in those days still captain of the host of King Nimrod, and he still followed strange gods. And Abram came to his father's house, and saw 12 gods standing there in their temples. And the anger of Abram was kindled when he saw these images in his father's house. And Abram said, As the Lord liveth, these images shall not remain in my father's house. So shall the Lord who created me do unto me, if in 3 days' time I do not break them all. And Abram went from them, and his anger burned within him. And Abram hastened and went from the chamber to his father's outer court. And he found his father sitting in the court, and all his servants with him. And Abram came and sat before him. And Abram asked his father, saying, Father, tell me, where is God who created heaven and earth, and all the sons of men upon the earth, and who created thee and me? And Terah answered his son Abram and said, Behold, those who created us are all with us in the house. And Abram said to his father, My Lord, show them to me, I pray thee. And Terah brought Abram into the chamber of the inner court. And Abram saw, and behold, the whole room was full of gods of wood and stone, 12 great images, and others less than they without number. And Terah said to his son, Behold, these are they which made all thou seest upon the earth, and which created me and thee and all mankind. And Terah bowed down to his gods, and he then went away from them. And Abram his son went away with him. And when Abram had gone from where he went to his mother, and when Abram had gone from them, he went to his mother, and sat before her. And he said to his mother, Behold, my father has shown me those who made heaven and earth, and all the sons of men. Now, therefore, hasten and fetch a kid from the flock, and make of it savory meat, that I may bring it to my father's gods as an offering for them to eat. Perhaps I may thereby become acceptable to them. And his mother did so. And she fetched a kid, and made savory meat thereof, and brought it to Abram. And Abram took the savory meat from his mother, and brought it before his father's gods. And he drew nigh to them, that they might eat. And Terah his father did not know of it. And Abram saw on the day when he was sitting amongst them, that they had no voice, no hearing, no motion, and not one of them could stretch forth his hand to eat. And Abram mocked them, and said, Surely the savory meat that I prepared has not pleased them, or perhaps it was too little for them, and for that reason they would not eat. Therefore tomorrow I will prepare fresh savory meat, better and more plentiful than this, in order that I may see the result. And it was on the next day that Abram directed his mother concerning the savory meat. And his mother rose and fetched 3 fine kids from the flock. And she made of them some excellent savory meat, such as her son was fond of. And she gave it to her son Abram, and Terah his father did not know of it. And Abram took the savory meat from his mother, and brought it before his father's gods into the chamber. And he came nigh unto them that they might eat. And he placed it before them. And Abram sat before them all day, thinking perhaps they might eat. And Abram viewed them, and behold, they had neither voice nor hearing, nor did one of them stretch forth his hand to the meat to eat. And in the evening of that day, in that house, Abram was clothed with the Spirit of God. And he called out and said, Woe unto my father in this wicked generation, whose hearts are all inclined to vanity, who serve these idols of wood and stone, which can neither eat, smell, nor hear, nor speak, who have mouths without speech, eyes without sight, ears without hearing, hands without feeling, and legs which cannot move. Like them are those that made them and that trust in them. That's good. And when Abram saw all these things, his anger was kindled against his father, and he hastened and took a hatchet in his hand, and came into the chamber of the gods, and he broke all his father's gods. And when he had done breaking the images, he placed the hatchet in the hand of the great God, which was there before them. And he went out. And Terah his father came home, for he had heard at the door the sound of the striking of the hatchet. So Terah came into the house to know what this was about. And Terah, having heard the noise of the hatchet in the room of images, ran to the room to the images, and he met Abram going out. And Terah entered the room and found all the idols fallen down and broken, and the hatchet in the hand of the largest, which was not broken. And the savory meat which Abram his son had made was still before them. And when Terah saw this, his anger was greatly kindled, and he hastened and went from the room to Abram. And he found Abram his son still sitting in the house. And he said to him, "What is this work thou hast done to my gods?" And Abram answered Terah his father, and he said, "Not so, my lord, for I brought savory meat before them. And when I came nigh to them with the meat that they might eat, they all at once stretched forth their hands to eat before the great one." Oh, sorry. I came nigh to them with the meat that they might eat. They all at once stretched forth their hands to eat before the great one had put forth his hand to eat. Yeah, that's good. And the large one saw their works that they did before them, and his anger was violently kindled against them. And he went and took the hatchet that was in the house, and came to them and broke them all. And behold, the hatchet is yet in his hand, as thou seest. And Terah's anger was kindled against his son Abram when he spoke this. And Terah said to Abram his son in his anger, "What is this tale that thou hast told? Thou speakest lies to me. Is there in these gods spirit, soul, or power to do all that hast told me? Are they not wood and stone? And have I not myself made them? And canst thou speak such lies, saying that the large God that was with them smote them? It is thou that didst place the hatchet in his hands, and then sayest he smote them all." That's interesting.
Quite interesting.
Right?
This is quite an interesting
Yeah,
tale.
what in the world? That's crazy. Okay. And Abram answered his father and said to him, "And how canst thou then serve these idols in whom there is no power to do anything? Can those idols in which thou trustest deliver thee? Can they hear thy prayers when thou callest upon them? Can they deliver thee from the hands of thy enemies? Or will they fight thy battles for thee against thy enemies, that thou shouldest serve wood and stone, which can neither speak nor hear? And now surely it is not good for thee, nor for the sons of men that are connected with thee, to do these things. Are you so silly, so foolish, or so short of understanding, that thou wilt serve wood and stone, and do
that you will serve.
that you will serve wood and stone, and do after this manner? And forget the Lord God who made heaven and earth, and who created you in the earth, and thereby bring a great evil upon your souls in this matter by serving stone and wood. Did not our fathers in the days of old sin in this matter? And the Lord God of the universe brought the waters of the flood upon them, and destroyed the whole earth. And how can you continue to do this, and serve gods of wood and stone, who cannot hear or speak or deliver you from oppression, thereby bringing down the anger of the God of the universe upon you? Now therefore, my father, refrain from this, and bring not evil upon thy soul and the souls of thy household." And Abram hastened and sprang from before his father, and took the hatchet from his father's largest idol, with which Abram broke it, and ran away. And Terah, seeing all that Abram had done, hastened to go from his house. And he went to the king, and he came before Nimrod, and stood before him. And he bowed down to the king. And the king said, "What dost thou want?" And he said, "I beseech thee, my lord, to hear me. Now 50 years back a child was born to me, and thus has he done to my gods, and thus has he spoken. And now therefore, my Lord and King, send for him that he may come before thee, and judge him according to the law, that we may be delivered from his evil. And the king sent 3 men of his servants, and they went and brought Abram before the king. And Nimrod and all his princes and servants were that day sitting before him, and Terah sat also before them. And the king said to Abram, What is this that thou hast done to thy father and to his gods? And Abram answered the king in the words that he spoke to his father. And he said, The large God that was with them in the house did to them what thou hast heard. And the king said to Abram, Had they power to speak and eat and do as thou hast said? And Abram answered the king, saying, And if there be no power in them, why dost thou serve them and cause the sons of men to err through thy follies? Dost thou imagine that they can deliver thee, or do anything small or great, that thou shouldest serve them? And why wilt thou not serve the God of the whole universe, who created thee, and in whose power it is to kill and keep alive? O foolish, simple, and ignorant king, woe unto thee forever. I thought thou wouldest teach thy servants the upright way, but thou hast not done this, but hast filled the whole earth with thy sins, and the sins of thy people who have followed thy ways. Doest thou not know, or hast thou not heard, that this evil which thou doest, our ancestors sinned therein in the days of old, and the eternal God brought the waters of the flood upon them and destroyed them all, and also destroyed the whole earth on their account. And wilt thou and thy people rise up now and do like unto this work, in order to bring down the anger of the Lord God of the universe, and to bring evil upon thee and the whole earth? Now therefore put away this evil deed which thou doest, and serve the God of the universe, as thy soul is in his hands, and then it will be well with thee. And if thy wicked heart will not hearken to my words, to cause thee to forsake thy evil ways, and to serve the eternal God, then wilt thou die in shame in the latter days, thou, thy people, and all who are connected with thee, hearing thy words or walking in thy evil ways. And when Abram had ceased speaking before the king and princes, Abram lifted up his eyes to the heavens, and he said, The Lord seeth all the wicked, and he will judge them.
It's a heavy-headed chutney with beard.
Okay, only reason I stopped is we're going in age order, and I don't know.
Who is the oldest?
That's why I'm not really sure.
Roman is the youngest out of everybody.
Okay,
Really?
I didn't know that.
I don't know why I thought Rome was older than you for some
His
reason.
birthday is September month, so
Okay.
Oh,
we just said his age.
alright.
I want to recap on that, Chuck.
Yeah, that was a good one, right? Man,
I want to
It's-
recap.
isn't it crazy how he just admitted like he knows?
They
I
know.
forgot about that part.
He said, yeah. See, I've read Jasher before, but I like this in particular because growing up, right, this is one thing too that I think a lot of parents deem to forget. So when you train a child, whatever you tell that child's gonna remember. And when a parent goes off, a child can speak up. But people in this world, they say, "Oh, know your place in order." But we see right here, somebody's parent is going off and sin, and the son is correcting the father. But we see how sometimes parents don't like correction. They can't take correction because of the mindset that they think that they're above or whatever the case may be. But when I first read this, it let me know that it don't matter what my father or my mother says. If they are doing sin and commit sin, to hell with what they're doing. And we can say something about it. Now, if they have a problem with it and it goes against what the scriptures say, I'm not in the wrong. They are. But it just shows, it don't matter the order of whether it's a parent, child, whatever the case may be. If it's a sin, it's a sin regardless. It just shows too how when people hear the truth, they don't like it. Or they say the truth and speak the truth knowingly and still do ignorant things. He called his own father foolish and simple.
He called the king that also.
And the king and the people that followed their ways.
But I also remember like let's see, where is it at? It said that Abram, the spirit of God. Oh, here it is on 406 on Jasher chapter 11 verse 31.
31 with the cloak.
Yeah, no, you can't forget about that part.
Yeah.
He said, and in the evening of that day, in the house, Abram was clothed with the Spirit of God. So I think that gave him an extra, courage to just, and know God was probably speaking these words through him. So, that's crazy.
Had to have been for him to have the courage to
Right,
speak
to
up
the
like
king.
that to his dad and
to the
the king.
And the king. He said,
Yeah.
hey, son. He said, woe unto my father in this wicked generation.
Yeah, it sounds like something God like what he was speaking sounded pretty authoritative.
Hey, that's the truth. Even at the same time, we have that spirit. We can call that spirit within us. Don't it say that the spirit comes within us? The Holy Spirit, when we start manifesting that spirit can come upon us because He opened Himself into that. When you follow the commandments of the Lord, His Spirit will come on you. So if you're living your life properly, you're open to that power. But people who don't follow that way, they're not going to be open to that power.
What do you think about it, Ed?
Well, I must chime in with Godwin on, I don't know what verse it is. I can't call it off my head, but the Bible does speak about not respecting the person over the scriptures. I mean,
no respect to persons.
There are times when people automatically initiate respect to people, and they really don't deserve it. And sometimes that respect for a person can land you in hot water if you stew in it too long. I mean, because that's one of those things, I mean, I was raised to respect my elders, but over time, moving around different places I've gone, I've been around people that I said, hey, this is the elder, I'm gonna respect that person. Bad move.
Yeah.
Bad move. Before the sun went down, me and that elder was locked up. I mean, in trouble. I put hands on him. I've had an elder person try to get me to smoke some crack with him.
Oh yeah, you can't do that.
I'm like, yo,
Can't do that.
the respect is out of the window, brother.
Yeah, that's going.
I'm about to put the Watusi on you. But just that respect of the person put me in that position. So it's what a dangerous world we're in nowadays, guys.
Hey, that's the
You guys are growing up in a generation that's not like mine. I'm here to tell you. You guys got some we doing y'all's moves. Be careful.
Yeah, that reminds me of just like we're supposed to love everybody, but you don't have to love everybody's ways.
Exactly.
So, and I can't quote the exact verse, but I just read it yesterday in Romans. It was talking about how you're supposed to show disgust and when you see sin. That's a common thing. You're supposed to feel
It's shoot evil.
Is it similar to something the heathens?
Hey guys.
Or is it something?
Yeah.
What verse is that?
literally-
We need to find that.
Yeah, I'll
Because that's something that I find myself in a position doing a lot.
you're supposed to mock them and laugh and stuff.
That's how I was raised.
Yeah.
I was raised that way.
Yeah, that's a good thing.
When you see somebody doing bad and an evil person,
Yeah.
You're supposed to.
you ride
You're
them.
supposed to.
You ride them hard.
You're supposed to.
Yeah, well,
But people became soft.
hey, listen, the world they can't handle that nowadays.
They don't like correction.
Where I grew up at, it wasn't nothing to be going back and forth with each other when they was doing foolishness.
Yeah.
I mean, we not saying there used to be a thing that people did, they would bash evildoers.
Yeah. It's called
was-
shaming.
Yeah.
Slut shaming.
It says it in
What's it called?
They call it slut shaming.
Really?
But shame is good. You're supposed to have shame. The Bible, in the book of Ecclesiasticus, it says, a shameless woman is counted as a dog, but a woman who fears the Lord is shamefaced. Shame is good, because when you have shame, you're not gonna do certain things. I'm gonna be shameful if I go out here butt naked. I'm gonna put some clothes on because it brings shame to me.
Right.
But some people don't have shame. It's balanced. They don't have shame.
Right.
That's why people out here going out here wearing clothes that show their titties, whatever the case may be, or of guys wearing specific things that show certain things and they act a specific way because they have no shame. If they had shame, they wouldn't do certain things.
That's true. Are we out of footage?
No, we're good. I just want to make sure my phone don't die.
You don't remember what it was?
No,
What are you looking for?
I'd be able to find it on the old Google. Like Google a couple words of the verse. I know something about mocking. This is awesome. Let's see.
What was the basis of it?
What were we talking about?
It's,
Not respecting the person?
I can find it. Yeah.
Okay.
I just want to help out, give me a little crumb.
All right, guys, we are finding the scripture because we want to make sure we're correct in all we do.
Wait, we was talking about.
You said the Book of Romans.
Let's see. No, I remember the verse too. Oh, I can't remember. Yeah, I had the words of it.
Wait, what did I say? What was the first thing I said?
Let's see. So I can go back.
We were talking about shame. We were talking about respecting the person. We were talking about,
You can love somebody, but not love their ways.
right?
And when you see evil, you're supposed to be discussing.
Yeah, when you say
when you
show, discuss, upset. Wait, I know what it's like. This is like 12:4.
Good Lord have mercy.
What?
That daggone frankincense is
Oh, nice, right?
really is. I want to order some of that frankincense, Ethan, later on today. At least 13 grams or so.
I'll send that guy.
Oh, I like this part, chapter 13. To let every soul be subject unto the higher powers, for there is no power but of God, the powers that are ordained of God. Whosoever therefore resisteth the power resisteth the ordinance of God, and they that resisteth shall receive to themselves damnation. It's somewhere close here.
Okay, chapter 12. Y'all want to abandon this search and keep it moving?
I'm trying to find it. I'm trying to find it too. It's somewhere. I mean, we can keep going.
I did find something in Romans, but I'm not sure if it's what you're speaking of. But it's Romans 12:9. It said, "Let love be genuine, abhor what is evil."
Yeah,
Hold
that's
fast
it.
to
That's
what is
it.
good.
Abhor means
Hate.
to
Abhor means to hate.
discuss. Yeah,
Abhor is a
hate,
very
to
strong
hate
word.
and
Yeah,
discuss.
yeah.
That's exactly.
That's
what,
one.
that's
Okay,
exactly
for
what it
sure.
Well, I like that.
Abhor definition: to regard with extreme repugnance,
Yeah.
to feel hatred or loathing for.
towards sin, right?
So it says hate evil. The evil should be disgusting when you see it.
Every single time.
Every time you smell, get that nasty shit out of here, man. Nigga, you shouldn't be doing that nasty shit.
Listen, I've had someone say to me, "Hey, my young child, my teenage child, is upstairs in the bedroom with his teenage girlfriend, with the door closed." And I said, "Hey, go up there and rip that door off the hinges."
Right.
Yeah.
Their response was, "Hey, whoa, I'm progressive." They just doing what teenagers do. And I said, whoa, I tell you what I'm gonna do. Not only am I not coming in your house, I'm out.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the only response to have.
Only response, yeah.
This is the thinking of people that we deal with. Okay?
Yeah.
I can't be part of that myself.
No.
I wasn't raised like that. That's a problem.
It is. It really is. Because you're enabling. Once you enable something, that's gonna get worse.
You know, if that's okay, where's the next step here? If that's okay,
That's fine.
what's next here?
Exactly.
I mean, what's next?
Yeah.
Come on.
Can
My
I
wife told me that she went in the bathroom, there was a dude in the bathroom.
Oh, like at the actual.
Yeah, she
public
went into the
restroom?
public bathroom and there was a dude in the bathroom.
Yes.
don't
I
like
said,
that
what?
stuff. I don't like that stuff.
She said, look, it won't no big deal. I handle myself. You know, I went, after I tinkled, I came out to wash my hands and there he was. I washed my hands, acknowledged something is wrong here and got out.
Right.
And I'm like, yo. Now, had I been standing outside that bathroom and heard this report,
You'd have been pissed.
the nature that I am would have caused me to say, what would have,
Yeah.
you in trouble.
You in big trouble. You in extreme trouble. I mean,
Listen,
Oh, you want to read a verse from it?
Yeah.
get on it, bro.
Yeah.
Burn it down.
So right after this is Romans 12:4. Wait, what is this? Is that what is this?
That's just the beginning. So which one you starting at? 8?
Verse 9.
Right, Romans 12, verse 9.
It says let love be without dissimulation. And you know what dissimulation is?
No. Simulate means to be like everybody else.
Okay, let me.
So dissimulation.
Dissimulation.
Means to like conceal or like not tell everything. To like conceal something.
Dissimulation. Concealment of one's thoughts, feelings, or character.
What is it?
Concealment of one's thoughts,
Okay.
feelings, or character.
Now read that again.
You're supposed. It says let love be without dissimulation.
Without.
Without concealment of one's thoughts.
So you let love be
Open.
open. Okay.
And then right after abhor that which is evil, so hate and be and disgust that which is evil, and cleave to that which is good. Be kindly affectioned one to another with brotherly love, in honor preferring one another, not slothful in business, fervent in spirit, serving the Lord, rejoicing in hope, patient in tribulation, continuing instant in prayer, distributing to the necessity of saints, given to hospitality. Bless them which persecute you. Bless them which persecute you. Bless and curse not. Rejoice with them that do rejoice, and weep with them that weep. Be of the same mind one toward another. Mind not high things, but condensed to men of low estate. Be not wise in your own conceits. Recommence to no man evil for evil. Provide things honest in the sight of all men. If it be possible, as much as lieth in you, live peaceably with all men. Dearly beloved, avenge not yourselves, but rather give place unto wrath. For it is written, vengeance is mine, I will repay, saith the Lord. Therefore, if thine enemy hunger, feed him. If he thirst, give him drink. For in so doing thou shalt heap coals of fire on his head. Be not overcome of evil, but overcome evil with good. And I really like that because it's
That's a lot.
Yeah,
I
it
feel
is.
like it's damn near every kind of bit of ammo you need for like a lot.
You need to print that out, put it on the
Yeah.
mirror because
And that's just one page.
listen, I show up with ball and chain and I can't swing it. I mean, really.
Yeah.
When you were born in the era that I was born in, you come up with the ball and chain. You're ready to
Right.
swing it and crush skulls. But you can't do that.
Well, it does say, if it be possible, as much as life in you, live peaceably with all men. If it be possible.
Bro, it's not possible. That's why I'm at the house. I can't be amongst these folks, bro. I got to stay on my land.
That's why it's really interesting to me where it's talking about like, dearly beloved, avenge not yourselves, but rather give place unto wrath, for it is written, vengeance is mine, I will repay, saith the Lord. So to me, that kind of makes me think like, oh, these people are trying to get me to sin. Mm-hmm. They want me to sin.
Gosh.
They want me to be as low as they are.
Possible.
Yeah.
They don't. They want to get me in the worst way possible, which is God's promise that He's going to save me. They want me to relinquish that.
Yeah. They're trying to get you to turn loose.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Let it go.
Yeah, exactly.
Let it go.
Yeah.
Hey, be like us.
Because it literally says, don't even worry about avenging yourself. All the stuff that you're like, oh, I deserve this and that. People need to treat me better, this and that. Like,
No.
don't even worry about that. That's not even your responsibility at all.
Right.
That should tell you that like you're dearly beloved. You know what I'm saying? Like it should just tell you like you're like on track, and just be mindful because you're getting more temptations to like lose all that which you like came here with. So it's like
What I'm learning here, guys, is it's a lot. If you want to walk and be like Christ, you got to read and learn the ways, because it's not natural.
It's not.
It is not a natural. Those instincts we have, read the scriptures to fine tune them and know how to use them. Right? That's for real. Good talk. Good. All these young men went to colleges. I did too. Let me tell you. You want to be tested and tried?
Yeah, right.
Hey, you want to be tested and tried? If you're a parent and you got kids, you already know. You know, especially if you brown or dark.
Yeah.
Please.
Sure.
Do you know what you go through? And people say, get over that. Hey, listen, I've been doing it. It's a problem. It starts at kindergarten.
Yeah. Even before that, it's
I mean, as soon as you take them out of the house and send them around people, man, that's when it goes down.
But isn't there a verse like where God says like they were talking about in Revelations when the baby was born, as soon as it was born, like Satan or the dragon
Was
came
trying
to
to kill
devour it.
him.
Yeah,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
as soon as it came out of the womb.
That's what King Herod tried to do with Messiah and with Abram. Nimrod tried to kill him.
yeah.
That's
You
true.
gotta get him the hell about it.
Dang, they had a star. They look. That's crazy.
And that's what happens when you send your children to these public schools.
Mm-hmm. You don't know what dangers you put him in.
Listen, you know what, man? When my son went, I ain't gonna say who it was. I have a son, and I said I ain't never sending my kids to daycare ever until they can talk and tell me what's going on. So we found a great place, and this one lady gave my son a nickname. And I didn't pay it no mind. She called him Mr. Big Stuff. Listen, and these people were so nice to us. I never in a million years put it all together until my son was in his 19 or 20s. And we had this conversation one day, because it was the daycare lady was a mutual friend of mine, his wife and her sister. And then my son told me the story. He said, you remember she used to call me? I said, yeah, man, she used to call you Mr. Big Stuff. And then we were having a conversation about something at the time, and he looked at me and said, I said, what? Are you serious? He said, I said, oh my God. I had no idea. This woman was, you know, she was taking him to the bathroom. You know, don't get me wrong. Thank God she won't worse, you know.
Because it could have been
way worse. It could have
been way worse.
Big
Stuff was just the tip of the iceberg.
It could have been.
Right.
It could have been. Hey, I just saw on TV just the other day this 29, 30-year-old woman pretending to be a 14-year-old girl. What? Yeah. Online Hi guys, I'm 14. Come on over to my house. Mom and Dad are gone. Come on over. And they come over. Next thing you know, she sets him up. It's a woman though. What's wrong with that? Giving these 14-year-old boys a little taste of reality, what they want. What's wrong with that?
It's the same way. Let a man do it.
Right.
Hey, his ass going to jail.
Listen.
Right.
If I was to sit here, hey, I'm 13.
Hey, diabolical.
Hey,
We got him.
Listen.
My mom left you want to get popsicles?
Hey, how diabolical. Hey, how diabolical is that?
Hey, what?
immediately.
Well-
Well, Chris Hansen be at the house with.
This is airstrike team and quit. Got
Right.
him.
Well, hey, it just goes to
Finally.
hey, it just goes to
We've
show
been watching him.
this world we're in because hey, I read in the scriptures.
Yeah.
My man got him a 10-year-old wife.
Yeah, what's up with that?
Yeah,
I mean, so
I read it as well.
it just goes to show of what's inside of a person that matters now.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I back in the day, I had my 6-year-old son driving me when I was drunk. Okay? Now somebody else would have said, "What in the hell?" But guess what? He got me home.
Yeah, true.
So it all starts up here and here. You know, I suppose. Nevertheless, good conversations, guys.
Yeah.
Good job. Good discussion. Anybody chiming in on our they ask any questions, our viewers?
Let me see if we got it. Well, we got 2 people watching.
All right.
All right. Hey. All right. I'll
Shout
take
'em
that.
out.
Let's do that.
No, the computer's dead.
Oh, nice.
You know what I'm
Let's
saying?
shout out those two.
Hey, whoever that one viewer is, thanks for tuning in.
Ele- 1444.
Oh yeah. Spammer alert. Spammers.
Spam blaster. I'm gonna put some more frankincense on here, guys.
We're playing again. We're playing again. Good. All right.
No, that was good. That was a good verse though.
Yeah,
was good.
Good choice. Good job.
Brought a good
Nice.
brought a good discussion up, guys. And I like it.
That was good, man.
Very good.
See, that's another thing too that people fail to realize how the Old Testament and New Testament, they are interlinked. People want to forget about the Old Testament and just stick with the New, but they all correlate together. He literally pulled something from the New Testament that went hand in hand with the Old Testament, and the Old Testament literally goes hand in hand with the New Testament. But some people think that cut out the Old Testament, we just need the New.
Well, hey, listen. I tell you what, I'm with you, Godwin, all the way. But you can't put new wine in old vessels.
That is true.
I mean, you can't.
That's true.
Don't get me wrong. You cannot forget the vessel. It had its value and its uses. Why am I saying this, you may ask? Well, I remember when Moses was cruising across the desert. And Moses had to institute some rules of his own with God's help. He said, look, I'm sick of this. You guys keep coming up with me about these women. And hey, put her away. If it be well with you, divorce her. Something Moses said. He told him that. And to this day, people are divorcing like crazy. Like it's all good. And saying, hey, the Bible says you can do it.
Yeah, but they do it out of in wrongness though. A lot of people take things and do it out of wrongness. It says in that scripture in particular, it says if you find anything unclean within her. Now, what exactly are these people deeming unclean that cause them to divorce this woman? Are you getting upset over something that's not a sin? If it's a sin, that's different. But are you divorcing her over something that's not a sin? Now you're in the wrong for doing so. It says uncleanness. Uncleanness is sin. So if she's not sinning, what are you divorcing her for?
You burn out with her.
But that's
You want you another one.
you can add another one.
You can add?
Yeah, the Bible says that. But if she's not sinning, what are you divorcing her for? The Bible says no divorce.
She had sex with Billy over there at tent number 3.
That's a different story. That's fornication, that's fornication and adultery. She can get her ass out of there. She's a whore.
Is she?
Yeah.
Well, how many times did the Israelites going through the desert transgress against God?
Did for 40 years straight.
Yeah, constantly.
40 years straight.
And to this day, God is still, we're still the bridegroom.
That's true.
He didn't turn us back on us, not once.
He did though.
We forsook him.
Yeah. He did.
We forsook him. He said, I'm gonna kill y'all, every one of
He
you.
did. Yeah.
I'm gonna kill you, but he didn't. He killed most of us, but he brought us back.
But he did divorce us. He did say, I'd rather do the divorce and not divorce you guys.
Did he?
He did. Mm-hmm.
He did kill him now. He killed him.
In the book of Jeremiah, he says.
I tell you what, we're gonna get that. We're gonna have a good podcast about divorce and remarriage, but not today. I just want to touch base on it. Let's
Okay.
keep it going. Keep it pushing. Let's keep it pushing. Chapter 12.
Verse 12, chapter 12 of the book of Jasher. And when the king heard the words of Abram, he ordered him to be put into prison. And Abram was 10 days in prison. And at the end of those days, the
Wait a
king-
minute. Hold on. I'm sorry. We were just talking about Abram was like empowered by the body of Christ to say what he said.
Right.
To the king and to his dad, and they were picking up on what this is what happened after he did that.
This is exactly why I say this is my favorite chapter.
Man, you killing me.
This is exactly why I say this is my favorite chapter, because it explains everything. Even though he in prison, right? This may seem like a bad thing, so the chapter will explain everything afterwards. But see, this is one thing I want to add too. People see that one thing, oh, you shouldn't have done that because that would happen to you, but they don't see the spiritual side aspect that come after.
Hey, I'm with you, man. The a movie called Blood In, Blood Out. This dude went to prison forever, where he became king and supreme. He said, I've never been so alive in my life.
I ain't never heard that movie before.
He
I'm
ruled.
gonna watch that. Blood In, Blood Out. I'm gonna watch that. Watch that. And at the end of those days, the king ordered that all the kings, princes, and governors of different provinces and the sages should come before him, and they sat before him, and Abram was still in the house of confinement. And the king said to the princes and sages, have you heard that Abram the son of Terah has done to his father? Thus has he done to him, and I order him to be brought before me. And thus has he spoken. His heart did not misgive him, neither did he stir in my presence. And behold, now is he confined in the prison. And therefore decide what judgment is due to this man who reviled the king who spoke and did all the things that you heard. And they all answered the king, saying, the man who reviles the king should be hanged upon a tree. But having done all these things that he said, and having despised our gods, he must therefore be burned to death. For this is the law in this matter. If it pleases the king to do so, let him order his servants to kindle a fire both night and day in your brick furnace, and then we will cast this man into it. And the king did so. And he commanded his servants that they should prepare a fire for 3 days and 3 nights in the king's furnace, that is, in Kasdim or Chaldeans. And the king ordered them to take Abram from prison and bring him out to be burned.
So they got that fire nice and hot.
Nice,
smoking.
They said 3 days, 3 nights prior.
They said, look, 3 days and then we're gonna put them in there.
And 3 nights.
God only knows what type of pot they were heating up.
Oh my gosh.
Back then, they had some. They have a unit that get the whole unit hot with a door, and so you went and closed the door on you. They was frying people like, hey, you got to have a big frying pan to fry a human being in it. Goodness.
You talking about police with no? This is great.
Hey, listen.
You talking about police with no cameras? How about no police, no rules, no God, nothing?
I tell you what, I bet you to this day, you can go to the Catholic big church
Oh, I know they got
and
calls
go in their
or something.
museum, and I bet you they got some. I bet you they got some instruments of death that would blow your mind.
Yep.
That medieval act.
I mean, I can only
It's
imagine.
crazy. I saw one where it was like a bowl the size of a pear. They put it in your mouth, but they got a turn right here. So when you turn it, it's like this in your mouth.
Oh,
cracking the whole jaw, dislocating it. Yeah, and that's what he used. Hey, that's some scary stuff, ain't it? Hey, the wickedness in hearts of men is crazy. It's
But
crazy.
they about to show you.
They are.
I mean, dog wise.
This is chapter 12, verse 7. And all the king's servants, princes, masters, governors, and judges, and all the inhabitants of the land, about 900,000 men, stood opposite the furnace to see Abram. So almost 1 million motherfuckers.
get ready to watch him get
burned. That's crazy. And all the women and little ones crowded upon the roofs and towers to see what was doing with Abram. And they all stood together at a distance. And there was not a man left that did not come on that day to behold the scene. And when Abram was come, the conjurers of the king and the sages saw Abram, and they cried out to the king, saying, Our sovereign Adonai, surely this man whom we know to have been the child at whose birth the great star swallowed the 4 stars, which we declared to the king now 50 years since. And behold, now his father has also transgressed your commands, and mocked you by bringing you another child, which you did kill. And when the king heard their words, he was exceedingly wroth. And he ordered Terah to be brought before him. And the king said, Have you heard what the conjurers have spoken? Now tell me truly, how did you? And if you shall speak truth, you shall be acquitted. And seeing that the king's anger was so much kindled, Terah said to the king, My master and king, you have heard the truth, and what the sages have spoken is right. And the king said, How could you do this thing, to transgress my orders, and to give me a child that you did not begot, and to take value for him? And Terah answered the king, Because my tender feelings were excited for my son at the time, and I took a son of my handmaid and brought him to the king. And the king said, Who advised you to this? Tell me, do not hide aught from me, and then you shall not die. And Terah was greatly terrified in the king's presence, and he said to the king, It was Haran, my eldest son, who advised me to this. And Haran was in those days that Abram was born, 32 years old. But Haran did not advise his father to anything, for Terah said this to the king in order to deliver his soul from the king, for he feared greatly. And the king said to Terah, Haran, your son who advised you to this, shall die through fire with Abram. For the sentence of death is upon him from having rebelled against the king's desires in doing this thing. And Haran at that time felt inclined to follow the ways of Abram, but he kept it within himself. And Haran said in his heart, Behold, now the king has seized Abram on account of these things which Abram did. And it shall come to pass that if Abram prevailed over the king, I will follow him. But if the king prevail, I will go after the king. And when Terah had spoken this to the king concerning Haran his son, the king ordered Haran to be seized with Abram. And they brought with them both Abram and Haran his brother to cast him into the fire, and all the inhabitants of the land, and the king's servants, and princesses, and all the women and little ones were there, standing that day over them. And the king's servants took Abram and his brother, and they stripped them all of their clothes, except their lower garments, which were upon them. And they bound their hands and feet with linen cords, and the servants of the king lifted them up and cast them into the furnace. Here's my favorite part. And Yahweh loved Abram, and he had compassion over him. And Yahweh came down and delivered Abram from the fire, and he was not burned. But all the cords with which they were bound him were burned, while Abram remained and walked about in the fire. And Haran died when they had cast him into the fire. He was burned to ashes, for his heart was not perfect with Yahweh. And those men who cast him into the fire, the flame of the fire spread over them, and they were burned. And 12 men of them died. And Abram walked in the midst of the fire 3 days and 3 nights. And all the servants of the king saw him walking in the fire. And they came and told the king, saying, Behold, we have seen Abram walking about in the midst of the fire, and even the lower garments which are upon him are not burned, but the cord which he was bound is burned. And when the king heard their words, his heart fainted, and he would not believe them. So he sent other faithful princes to see this matter, and they went and saw it, and told it to the king. And the king rose to go and see it, and he saw Abram walking to and fro in the midst of the fire. And he saw Haran's body burn, and the king wondered greatly. The king ordered Abram to be taken out from the fire, and his servants approached to take him out, and they could not, for the fire was round about, and the flame ascended toward them from the furnace. And the king's servants fled from it. And the king rebuked them, saying, Make haste, and bring Abram out of the fire, that he should not die. And the servants of the king again approached to bring Abram out, and the flames came upon them and burned their faces, so that 8 of them died. And when the king saw that his servants could not approach the fire, lest they should be burned, the king called to Abram, O servant of God, who is in heaven, go forth from the midst of the fire, and come hither before me. And Abram hearkened to the voice of the king, and he went forth from the fire, and came and stood before the king. And when Abram came up, the king and all his servants saw Abram coming before the king with his lower garments upon him, for they were not burned, but the cord with which he was bound was burned. And the king said to Abram, How is it that you were not burned in the fire? And Abram said to the king, The God of heaven and earth, in whom I trust, and who has all in his power, he delivered me from the fire to which you did cast me. And Haran, the brother of Abram, was burned to ashes, and they sought for his body, and they found it consumed. And Haran was 82 years old, and he died in the fire of Kasdim. And the king, princes, and inhabitants of the land, seeing that Abram was delivered from the fire, they came and bowed down to Abram. And Abram said to them, Do not bow down to me, but bow down to Elohim of the world, who made you, and serve him, and go in his ways. For it is he who delivered me out of this fire, and it is he who created the souls and the spirits of all men, and formed man in his mother's womb, and brought him forth into the world. And it is he who delivered those who trust in him from all pain. And this thing seemed very wonderful in the eyes of the king and princes, that Abram was saved from the fire, and that Haran was burned. And the king gave Abram many presents. He gave him his 2 head servants from the king's houses. The name of one was Onai, and the name of the other was Eliezer. And all the kings, princes, and servants gave Abram many gifts of silver and gold and pearl. And the king and his princes sent him away, and he went in peace. And Abram went forth from the king in peace. And many of the king's servants followed him, and about 300 men joined him. And Abram returned on that day and went to his father's house, he and the men that followed him. And Abram served Yahweh Elohai all days of his life. And he walked in his ways and followed his Torah, or Torah means law in Hebrew. And from that day forward, Abram inclined the hearts of the sons of men to serve Yahweh. And at that time, Nahor and Abram took themselves women, the daughters of their brother Haran. The woman of Nahor was Milcah, and the name of Abram's woman was Sarai. And Sarai, the woman of Abram, was barren, and she had no offspring in those days. And at the expiration of 2 years from Abram's going out the fire, that is, in the 52nd year of his life, behold, King Nimrod sat in Babel upon the throne. And the king fell asleep, and dreamed that he was standing with his troops and his hosts in the valley opposite the king's furnace.
Wait, time out. He married his niece?
What does it say? It says, And from that day Abram inclined the hearts of the sons of men to serve Yahweh. And at that time Nahor and Abram took unto themselves women, the daughters of their brother Haran. So yeah. The woman of Nahor was Milcah, and Abram's woman was Sarai, so he married his niece.
Well,
I'm thinking maybe at the time, this is my theory on that particular one, maybe at the time, since every other man, like men were all wicked, God wanted him to make sure he married a woman from a not wicked bloodline.
But this is my take from studying. Well, before certain things happened, there were certain laws that wasn't put in place yet. Moses isn't even born right now in this time period. When Moses comes and is born, that's when certain laws was put to place that, oh, man's not supposed to labor this, and that, this, and that. So certain things weren't, that the creator wasn't heavily implemented at that time.
It sure is interesting about all the lineage with that.
yeah, but isn't Sarah Wasn't her dad Enoch? I mean, who was her dad?
Haran,
Haran?
who was the brother of Abram that just died in the fire.
So Haran is the one that got burned.
Mm-hmm.
Where is Terah?
Terah is the father of
Where
Abram.
is he?
He's
What did
about
God do to him?
He's about to come back.
I mean, what did the king do to him? He
He's
didn't
not.
throw him in.
He's not dead.
How did he get out of that?
We haven't gotten to it.
We haven't gotten to it. He's about to get to
I
it.
mean, he was right in the midst of it a minute ago.
We haven't gotten to it yet.
Oh, I suppose.
Everybody
You
gets
know,
it.
actually, my theory is wrong with that because Haran just got burned up, so I don't even know really with the nieces and thing.
When Haran was the brother of Abram. It said he took.
Right. No. Ethan was saying because of like the wickedness.
Yeah, but
but
he
like
just
Haran
got-
is just
Oh,
got
yeah.
burned up. So obviously.
no, it's not. Yeah, it's
Oh,
not
your
that.
theory?
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, it's burned to ashes. The theory.
Well, I tell you what, if we want to learn the nature and the true God, we got to read.
Yeah.
The more we read, the better you get. The better we get. I was sitting in here in my heart a moment ago thinking about going to bash the evildoers. Until we read more, vengeance is not mine. I can't go out and just go out and slay evil.
Yeah.
That ain't my job.
Oh, and then there's another.
I was ready.
There's another script on that same page that talks about like if you judge a man, that's how God will judge you. So you gotta really be careful how you're thinking about people because that's how God judging you instantly as soon as you do that. So it's like that's why it makes so much sense to keep your mouth, keep your life, because as soon as you open it up the dang Pandora's box.
That's
right?
why I say your judgment should be righteous. It should say judging righteousness.
Right.
That's why we're not supposed to judge unrighteous. So whatever judgment we given, it should be facts and truth. If what we saying is not true, oh, you're a liar. Oh, you're the devil, like they did Jesus. Or you're a Beelzebub. That's false. That's unrighteousness because you tell them lies, false witness.
It don't take much to get the rumors started.
It don't.
Yeah,
Sir,
it
don't.
That's why it says gain an understanding first before you do anything. You gotta get an understanding.
It's another verse specifically that says that a king searches out the matter. A person who judges a matter before hearing it, to him is folly. And that's in the book of Proverbs. So, the scriptures be on point. I ain't seen it fail.
Listen.
Anybody hears a matter before judges a matter before fully hearing it, they folly.
Hey, that's why you stay out of court. You do not take off cuff a little bit. Do not take your friends to court. Because just when you think that judge is in the scriptures when he's not on that seat, he's on porn, cuz. Listen, you about to be judged by somebody that ain't necessarily.
He just had 5 prostitutes the other day.
Even
He
the-
married 4 kids.
Even the fact that that's his job is to judge. When it says God's job is to judge, it's like what you think you going in there to get?
Who are you?
Hey, man wanted a king so
You gonna
bad.
get served up.
Say that
Hey, you
take your-
gonna get
Bible
served
said
up,
not
all
Take
right.
your friend to court.
Right.
You're not gonna win in there. You're not going to God.
You going to America?
Hey, you going to the wrong place if you want to be judged fairly.
Get 8, 9 judges.
Somebody over there browsing
12,
right now.
Really?
Knowing you
12
innocent. Hey,
Pointed
I
by
got
themselves.
I got 20,000.
Yeah, I got these Benjamins for this ruling guy.
That niggas.
God. Do we have?
We're live.
Do we
We're
have our
live.
subscribers?
We're live.
Hey guys.
We're live.
Hey, hey, okay, let's pick up where we left off, guys. Good job, good read.
It's,
Demonetized.
Hey man,
we have verse 45. And at the expiration of 2 years from Abram's going out of the fire, that is in the 52nd year of his life, old King Nimrod sat in Babel upon the throne, and the king fell asleep and dreamed that he was standing with his troops and hosts in the valley opposite the king's furnace. And he lifted up his eyes and saw a man in the likeness of Abram coming forth from the furnace, and that he came and stood before the king with his drawn sword, and then sprang to the king with his sword. When the king fled from the man, for he was afraid, and while he was running, the man threw an egg upon the king's head, and the egg became a great river.
hey, that wouldn't be Esau, is it?
Hey, what did he do though?
Hey man, Nimrod about to meet the boy out there pretty soon now. You can believe that?
He said, call him merch. and the king dreamed that all his troops sank in that river and died. And
From
the king
the egg?
From the egg, it made a river.
Jeez.
And the king took flight with 3 men who were before him, and he escaped. And the king looked at these men, and they were clothed in princely dresses as the garments of kings, and had the appearance and majesty of kings. And while they were running, the river again turned to an egg before the king, and there came forth from the egg a young bird, which came before the king and flew at his head, and plucked out the king's eye. And the king was grieved at the sight, and he awoke out of his sleep, and his spirit was agitated, and he felt a great terror. That boy had a nightmare.
I don't know why it's reminding me of like a crazy. I've never even been on shrooms, but I'm imagining it's like a crazy shroom trade.
Hey, let's
So I'm like, the egg turned to a river, and then the river
River
turned to an egg,
then back to a bird,
and then it turned to a bird.
and then played the
Hey,
And he ain't even woke up yet.
Hey, since we're speaking about this, I like to tell all you young men and young women who don't have experience that your parents have, who tell you don't drink, don't do drugs. Those things will put you in a position when you go to sleep at night, you are deprived from REM.
Mm-hmm.
REM is a period of sleep that you have to have to process
The dreams.
to process what you're supposed to do with your life. If you're not getting in the REM and your brain is not processing what you're supposed to do with yourself, you're in the devil's hands. If you believe in God, the devil and God, you best get some sleep and sober sleep.
Yeah.
Your sleep needs to be sobriety. You need to be sober so you can get these instructions. It's your GPS. You know, God will guide you in your sleep. Don't get me wrong, God don't have to try. If he wants to guide you, he don't care how drunk you, he gonna get in there. But the point is, you miss a lot of good instructions when you go to bed drunk or high.
True. That's true. Verse 51.
Okay.
And in the morning, the king rose from his couch in fear, and he ordered all the wise men and magicians to come before him. And when the king related his dream to them, and a wise servant of the king, whose name was Anuku, answered the king, saying, "This is nothing else but the evil of Abram, and the seed which will spring up against my master king in the latter days. And behold, the day will come when Abram and his seed and the children of his household will war with my king, and they will smite all the king's hosts and his troops. And as to what you have said concerning the men which you did see like unto yourself, and which did escape, this means that only you will escape with 3 kings from the kings of the earth, who will be with you in battle. And that which you saw of the river which turned to an egg, as at first, and the young bird plucking out your eye, this means nothing else but the seed of Abram, which will slay the king in latter days. This is my king's dream, and this is its interpretation. And the dream is true, and the interpretation which your servant has given is right. Now therefore, my king, surely you know that it is now 52 years since your sages saw this at the birth of Abram. And if my king will suffer Abram to live in the earth, it will be to the injury of my master and kingdom. And for all the days that Abram lives, neither you nor your kingdom will be established, for this was known formerly at his birth. And why will not my king slay him, that his evil may be kept from you in latter days?" And Nimrod hearkened to the voice of Anuku, and sent some of his servants in secret to go and seize Abram, and bring him before the king to suffer death. And Eleazar, Abram's servant, whom the king had given him, was at that time in the presence of the king. And he heard what Anuku had advised the king, and what the king said to cause Abram's death. And Eleazar said to Abram, "Hasten, rise up and save your soul, that you may not die through the hands of the king. For thus did he see in the dream concerning you, and thus did Anuku interpret it, and thus also did Anuku advise the king concerning you." And Abram hearkened to the voice of Eleazar. Abram hastened and ran for safety to the house of Noah and his son Shem. He concealed himself there and found a place of safety. And the king's servants came to Abram's house to seek him, but they could not find him. And they searched throughout the country, and he was not to be found. And they went and searched in every direction, and he was not to be met with. And when the king's servants could not find Abram, they returned to the king, but the king's anger was king's anger against Abram was stilled, as they did not find him, and the king drove from his mind this matter concerning Abram. And Abram was concealed in Noah's house for 1 month, until the king had forgotten this matter. But Abram was still afraid of the king. And Terah came to see Abram his son secretly in the house of Noah. And Terah was very great in the eyes of the king. And Abram said to his father, "Do you not know that the king thinks to slay me and to not annihilate my name from the earth by the advice of his wicked counselors? Now whom have you here, and what have you in this land? Arise, let us go to the land of Canaan, that we may be delivered from this land, lest you perish also through him in the latter days. Do you not know, or have you not heard, that it is not through love that Nimrod gives you all this honor, but it is only through for his benefit that he bestows all this good upon you? And if he do unto you greater good than this, surely these are only vanities of the world, for wealth and riches cannot avail in the anger."
You guys keep podcasting. She called you on your phone.
Who?
I'm Val. I'm gonna call her outside.
Well, call right now. Make sure she's all right. She shine.
You call her. Hey, everything okay, Mom?
Everything all right? We podcasting.
Okay. We're podcasting. Okay. Bye.
She was just saying her phone port was messed up.
Okay.
She's fine. No, keep going. We're in the game.
Now therefore hearken to my voice, and let us arise and go to the land of Canaan, out of the reach of injury from Nimrod, and serve Yahweh who created you in the earth, and it will be well with you, and cast away all the vain things which you pursue. And Abram ceased to speak, when Noah and his son Shem answered Terah, saying, "True is the word which Abram has said unto you." And Terah hearkened to the voice of his son Abram, and Terah did all that Abram said, for this was from Yahweh, that the king should not cause Abram's death.
What chapter was that?
That was 12 that I finished.
Verse. Okay.
I'm finished. We on 13 now.
All right.
Recap?
Yeah.
Man.
That was a lot. 12.
I don't know. T.R.
Terah.
Terrar.
That's how you say it? Okay. I
Terrar, Abram's dad. I tell you, being older and maybe going through more life experiences with you guys, I've had friends, man. Well, during the evolution of our relationship, they seem like the best friends because they stood firm on rules of friendship under pressure. But over the course of our friendship, when the rewards weren't there, but the risks were still there, and the situations, I realized they weren't friends at all. They were just there opportunities to reap the benefits of what our relationship put us in. But when it came to you take a close look at your friends, you realize they're very evil people that you have company with. When you really get to know the inside of the person, you know what I mean? And it can be years that have gone by, and you not know what you're with.
Yeah.
And I'm saying, I'm sure Abram did not think his dad would put him in front of the king.
Oh, not at all.
Not at all.
Telling on
I
him.
was like, you
Yo.
gonna guess what our fathers taught us?
I mean, what's good, Dad?
Right.
You know what I mean?
But you got more faith in the king, bro?
But somewhere along the line, Abram's like, yo, Pop, it's all good. Even though our brother was just burned alive because of the move you made.
Because he literally said, he set his son up for failure to the absolute max.
Was it true? Was it a lie?
It said, or go back to it, because he literally said that that's not what really happened. After he told
Well,
the
as
king.
I read, as we were reading, I'm like, wait a second.
Right. He just made it up.
Abram's
Saved
making
himself.
up something to save his own butt,
Tehran.
like he did.
Tehran.
I'm sorry, not Abram.
Yeah.
Tehran
Yeah.
Tehran.
used the same technique when it came to killing Abram.
Right. On his own side.
You know, he gave up his handmaid's child to be killed.
Yeah, to save his son.
So
Then he gave up
He
his
gave
son.
his
to
other
save- Then he gave up
son
his son to
His
save
other
himself.
son to save himself. He gave him 2 sons.
Yeah.
and now he's still Abram's dad. Abram's like, come on, Dad. It's me and you. Let's get out of here.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see, you know, the Bible synchronizes and harmonizes things, and you give it time, it's going to make it well with you.
Abram really loved the Lord to like even still say something like that to his father after all that.
That's my point exactly.
My pop set me up to get smoked, and I get thrown inside of a fire.
Come on, I am smoking.
I am smoking.
Technically, you're supposed to be dead.
It's right.
Right.
But since
right.
he trusted in the Father, he said, man, this ain't gonna do nothing to me.
This just goes back to what Roman brought up about, you know, I'm ready to get ball and chain and go after the evildoers. But that's not our job.
Yeah.
Vengeance is
Yeah.
not ours.
Yeah, this is literally
Gosh.
a great example of that because he should easily be looking at it a little bit sore-eyed.
A lot of sideways.
Yeah.
Basically, I shouldn't even be looking at you, but I am.
Right.
So I'm not even mad about it.
Yo, Pops, what the fuck?
Right.
Yeah, something's wrong, man.
And then look, he's saying Terah hearken to the voice of his son because he's like, ugh.
He's like, God, what you're saying is true. And
All
then
your
Noah,
words, I have to
Noah
listen
and
to.
Shem said, hey, what he's saying is facts. I don't give a damn. What your son is saying is facts. You better listen, or you can get smoked.
Hey, take it easy, guys. And we on some serious. This is how serious life is.
It's the truth. But I like this chapter a lot because you know,
It's a lot in it.
in my life, even recently, for example, in my life, how I've been growing, how I've been, Spirit's been raising me. When I know something is wrong, I don't care what anybody else says. Everyone was the same way. And when bad things, so-called bad things happen to you, to the outside, it may look evil. Oh, you shouldn't have done that because this has happened. This has happened. Everyone was thrown in prison. People around him, oh, you shouldn't have went against the king, blah, 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 blah. Whole time, the Father was protecting him the whole time. It don't matter what anybody else say. It don't matter what nobody else say. The Father was right there protecting him. He didn't get burned or nothing. And he left in peace. He left in peace, in whole totality. For example, I had a situation where when I was in Nigeria, and my old man and some family members was getting on me about specific things because of their knowledge of how certain things went around in the perimeter. And I said, okay, I understand exactly everything y'all saying, but y'all still have to y'all still failing to realize that the Father controls everything. It don't matter what situation I'm put in, whether I'm put in the situation of death or whatever the case may be, I'm fine. Y'all could be fearing for my life. If I'm not fearing for my life, y'all shouldn't even be tripping. The Father protects me. Oh, but you still have to this and that. No, I don't. Says who? Who are you? You just man. But people don't have, people's faith is not really up there like that. People talk a lot, but their faith is not really as strong as they deem it to be. Because if he would have folded, he would have died in that fire just like his brother Haran. And then, you know, people say, oh, you can't go out and do that. Even from the times where I've talked to you, or even my father, y'all say, you can't go out and do that, God, because you're going to bring this and that. Who cares? Who cares? The Father's going to protect me regardless.
Well, you gotta be perfect with him now.
I already said that. Remember I told you, you have to follow, if you follow his ways,
Oh yeah, yeah.
he's going to protect you. I'm not saying you just can't do anything. I'm saying,
Oh yeah, no. I just said that because it did make it a point saying like the only reason why,
Haran got burned up.
yeah, because he wasn't perfect with him.
Right.
Like, he was trying, but he wasn't locked in.
No,
He
where
said it,
he
yeah.
voted was that he said that if Abram succeeds out of this, then I'll follow him. But if he doesn't,
Right,
he
yeah.
managed, then I'm gonna do
Yeah.
this. That's where he messed up at. He should have went right there. I'm following Abram.
I'm with
But he
Abram.
said, nah, I'm gonna see how this plays out.
Right.
I'm gonna
right.
be lukewarm.
Yeah, you can't be.
He
Yeah.
was
Yeah,
lukewarm.
you're
Gotta
right.
spit out a lukewarm person.
I'm glad you said that. You can't be lukewarm.
No.
Yeah, he actually respects you more. If
Who
you,
likes
like,
who
evil.
hey, hey, viewers.
He got more stuff for you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
who likes lukewarm water when you get ready to take a bath?
Nobody.
Nobody.
Right. Yeah, it's gotta be either a cold
He
bath
said
or
cold
a damn
bath or hot bath.
Yeah.
I mean,
Nobody likes
lukewarm.
I
You
ain't
don't
never
even.
have one. I don't like warm bath.
You just draining it.
Man.
Right.
you just gonna
Hey,
drain
the
the
water,
water.
is hey, it's a dud.
But my life, when I'm speaking on that, my life, I've noticed that people tell me things, and when the scripture says something to you, and you know it's something, man, cut out all outside noise. I trust in the Father. You shouldn't trust no man. The scripture said that heavily. His own father told on him, man. And in my life, I've seen people within my own family do something to me. So, like you said, even the Messiah himself said your enemies will be within your own household.
And that's true. I can't help but recall multiple situations where raising my sons, I've compromised those values that I instilled in them to work in this system we're in. The United States system, it's a sham, guys.
Oh yeah, it's definitely designed to get you to
it's
be
a
contrary.
it's a
wherever
sham.
you-
It's a sham, and if you're in it long enough, your faith is gonna get compromised.
That's what happened to Terah. The same thing happened to Terah. Terah was following the ways, then he got under Nimrod, started doing a little extra stuff, then started putting guys in there, then started getting all this gold and stuff, getting fame and stuff. His son like, yo, Pops, you tripping. You told me this. You wildin'. Let me destroy all this. Destroy it all.
That's the value of all money ain't good money. You know, that's a saying, and that's a deep saying.
Shoot, I say it's more than that. I wouldn't say all money ain't good, man. I don't think no money good. Reason being for the verse 67. Let's start at verse 65. It says, now, whom have you here, and what have you in this land? Arise, let us go together to the land of Canaan, that we may be delivered from his hand, lest you perish also through him in the latter days. Do you not know, or have you not heard, that it is not through love that Nimrod gives you all this honor, but it is only for his benefit that he bestows all this good upon you? If he do not unto you greater good than this, surely these are only vanities of the world, for wealth and riches cannot avail in the day of wrath and anger. Wealth and riches only have
Wait a second, man. What are you saying? Are you saying if I want to get into the promised land, I just drop everything right now and follow the Lord?
That's exactly what I'm saying.
Don't look back?
That's exactly what I'm
What
saying.
about my wife? What about my kids?
That don't mean
What
nothing.
about my dog?
That don't mean nothing either.
Just roll.
Just roll. What happened with Lot? When he was going, his wife wanted to look back. Wham! Pillar of salt.
Blammy.
Blam right in there. He said,
Well,
Hey, well, that's why there's a scripture that says it's easier for a camel to walk through the eye of a needle than it is for a rich man to enter the kingdom of God.
his heaven is already here. If you had the riches that you need, the Father said, the Messiah himself said, to put your heart in towards the heavens. Heaven says all the riches you need. But if you have everything you need here, why would you want to go to heaven?
yeah.
You got everything you need here. You got all the money, all the cash, all the food you can get, all this. You're set.
You wouldn't want to shoot an arrow in heaven to stop him from taking you from here, would you?
That's what they do.
Yeah.
I got everything I need, so let's go to war with this guy.
Man.
What I need you for?
Matter of fact, I feel like stronger than this nigga.
Hey, I am sure I am.
Right, exactly.
That's why they want to war. Yeah.
And he's like, well, if you gonna do that, I'm gonna just have you believe whatever you want to believe then.
Do we have any viewer questions?
Let's see here.
We have viewers?
We have 2 watching right now, but one is me.
Oh,
But we got a like. I didn't do that. We got a sweet like. Okay. We got 2 viewers. Hey, I'm rolling with it.
let's keep it.
I'm
We're
rolling
on
with
chapter 13.
This on
We can talk all day. We can talk all day. This is good stuff. Hey, look, we got 4 men in here. We burning down the scripture.
Yeah.
Okay, I like it.
So you room.
Are we still going?
Yeah, 13.
Chapter 13. And Terah took his son Abram and his grandson Lot, the son of Haran, and Sarai, his daughter-in-law, the wife of his son Abram, and all the souls of his household, and went with them from Ur Kasdim to go to the land of Canaan, And when they came as far as the land of Haran, they remained there, for it was exceedingly good for pasture, and of sufficient extent for those who accompanied them. And the people of the land of Haran saw that Abram was good and upright with God and men, and the Lord his God was with him. And some of the people of the land of Haran came and rejoined Abram, and he taught them the instruction of the Lord and his ways. And these men remained with Abram in the house, and they adhered to him. And Abram remained in the land 3 years. And at the expiration of 3 years, the Lord appeared to Abram and said to him, I am the Lord who brought thee forth from Casdim, and delivered thee from the hands of all thine enemies. And then, therefore,
Read it up.
and now, therefore, if thou wilt hearken to my voice and keep my commandments, my statutes, and my laws, then will I cause thy enemies to fall before thee, and I will multiply thy seed like the stars of heaven, and I will send my blessings upon all the works of thy hands, and thou shalt lack nothing. Arise now, take thy wife and all belongings to thee, and go to the land of Canaan and remain there, and I will there be unto thee for a God, and I will bless thee. And Abram rose and took his wife and all belonging to him, and he went to the land of Canaan, as the Lord has told him. And you know he liked how that sounded. And Abram was 75 years old, and he went from Haran. Abram came to the land of Canaan and dwelt in the midst of the city, and he there pitched his tent among the children of Canaan, inhabitants of the land. And the Lord appeared to Abram when he came to the land of Canaan and said to him, This is the land which I gave unto thee and to thy seed after thee forever, and will make thy seed like the stars of heaven, and will give unto thy seed for an inheritance of the lands which thou seest. And Abram built an altar to the place where God had spoken to him, and Abram there called upon the name of the Lord. At the end of 3 years, Abram's dwelling in the land of Canaan. In that year Noah died, which was 58th year of the life of Abram. And all the days that Noah lived were 950 years, and he died. And Abram dwelt in the land of Canaan, he and his wife, and all belonging to him, and all those that accompanied him together, and all them that accompanied him, together with those that joined him from the people of the land. But Nahor, Abram's brother, and Terah his father, and Lot the son of Haran, and all belongings to them dwelt in Haran. In the 5th year of Abram's dwelling in the land of Canaan, the people of Sodom and Gomorrah and all the cities of the plain revolted from the power of Chedorlaomer, king of Elam. For all the kings of the cities of the plain had served Chedorlaomer for 12 years, giving him a yearly tax. But in those days, in the 19th year, they rebelled against him. And in the 10th year of Abram's dwelling in the land of Canaan, there was war between Nimrod, king of Shinar, and Chedorlaomer, king of Elam. And Nimrod came to fight with Chedorlaomer and to subdue him. For Chedorlaomer was at that time one of the princes of the host of Nimrod. And when all the people at the tower were dispersed, and those that remained were also scattered upon the face of the earth, Chedorlaomer went to the land of Elam and reigned over it and rebelled against his Lord. And in those days, when Nimrod saw that the cities of the plain had rebelled, he came with pride and anger to the war with Chedorlaomer. And Nimrod assembled all his princes and subjects, about 700,000 men, and went against Chedorlaomer. And Chedorlaomer went out to meet him with 5,000 men, and they prepared for battle in the valley of Babel, which is between Elam and Shinar. And all those kings fought there, and Nimrod and his people were smited before the people of Chedorlaomer, and there fell from Nimrod's men, about 600,000. And Mardon, the king's son, fell amongst them. And Nimrod fled and returned in shame and disgrace to his land. And he was under subjection to Chedorlaomer for a long time. And Chedorlaomer returned to his land and sent princes of his host to the kings that dwelt around him, to Erich, king of Elazar, and to Tidal, king of Goim, and made a covenant with them, and they were all obedient to his commandments, to his commands.
I want to give a little pointer to people that don't know what Goyim is. Goyim is nations of people that aren't related to Israel, to the nation of Israel. Anybody outside of the nation of Israel was considered Goyim, or nations of people.
And it was in the 15th year of Abram's dwelling in the land of Canaan, which is the 17th year of the life of Abram. And the Lord appeared to Abram in that year, and he said to him, I am the Lord who brought thee out from Casdim to give thee this land for inheritance. Now therefore walk before me and be perfect and keep my commands. For to thee and to thy seed I will give thee this land for inheritance, from the river Mitzrayim unto the great river Euphrates. And thou shalt come to thy fathers in peace and in good age. And the fourth generation shall return here in the land and shall inherit it forever. And Abram built an altar, and he called upon the name of the Lord who appeared to him. And he brought up sacrifices upon the altar to the Lord. At that time, Abram returned and went to Haran to see his father and mother and his father's household. And Abram and his wife and all belongings to him returned to Haran. And Abram dwelt in Haran 5 years. And many of the people of Haran, about 72 men, followed Abram. And Abram taught them the instruction of the Lord and his ways. And he taught them to know the Lord. In those days the Lord appeared to Abram in Haran, and he said to him, Behold, I spoke unto thee these 20 years back, saying, Go forth from thy land, from thy birthplace, and from thy father's house to the land which I have shown thee, to give it to thee and to thy children. For in that land will I bless thee, and make thee a great nation, and make thy name great. And in thee shall the families of the earth be blessed. Now therefore arise, go forth from this place, thou, thy wife, and all belongings to thee, also every one born in thy house, and all the souls thou hast made in Haran, and bring them out with thee from here, and rise to return to the land of Canaan. And Abram arose and took his wife Sarai, and all belongings to him, and all that were born to him in his house, and the souls which they had made in Haran. And they came out to go to the land of Canaan, and Abram went and returned to the land of Canaan, according to the word of the Lord. And Lot, the son of his brother Haran, went with him. And Abram was 75 years old when he went forth from Haran to return to the land of Canaan. And he came to the land of Canaan according to the word of the Lord to Abram. And he pitched his tent, and he dwelt in the plain of Mamre. And with him was Lot, his brother's son, and all belonging to him. And the Lord appeared to Abram and said,
Say that one more time.
And the Lord again appeared to Abram and said, To thy seed will I give this land. And he there built an altar to the Lord who appeared to him, which is still to this day in the plains of Mamre.
That's a good place to stop.
Hey.
Yeah, that's a good deal.
Canaan.
Yeah.
The fourth generation coming back.
Yeah. To the land of Canaan.
Hey, that's good medicine there. I like that. I'm glad we read that.
That was a good read.
That was good.
Shoot. If you don't think you can do anything, hey, after reading that, I mean, you don't got no damn hope.
I mean, listen, guys, the Lord has got work for us to do. Every man has a work. And if you're afraid, then say it. Get in your father's pocket. And if your father ain't no good, get the hell away from him too. But we all got work to do. But you gotta get the soul right. Not saying that, I'm not saying, when I say you, I'm speaking in plural. Most of the time when I'm talking to anyone who listens to me, I'm speaking of things that apply to me. I'm not gonna talk about something that I'm not in. I'm not. This is awesome. Everybody's got a place they eventually need to be. And we all know where it's at in our hearts. Just gotta get yourself together so you can go there. Because a lot of times when you are somewhere you're not supposed to be at the wrong time, it's not good. Right? I can only imagine what it was like when you visited Nigeria. You know, if you're not where you want to be, and you know that's where you need to be, but if you're not where you need to be, and you're in that place that you need to be at the wrong time, imagine. That's why back when I was a kid, old heads, when they was chasing the devil, they packed their stuff and got out of town. They had enough respect to do that progressive mess. And that's probably the wrong word. I'm just using that word because I've heard it so much lately. And they did it out of town. They came back to have the shit together. Now people don't have no shame. They do all this stuff right in front of everybody. It don't matter. That's not good. That's not good. I don't know if anybody can follow what I'm talking about, but
That's what they did in Sodom and Gomorrah.
Sodom and Gomorrah, exactly.
They said, "Oh, you don't care?
What?
Well, I'm about to make you care."
I'm gonna make you care. I'm gonna drop bombs.
well, hey, first before I do that, I'm gonna send some representatives to see if they can sort it out.
See if there's
See if it's
anybody
not
that's reasonable.
completely dog wash.
Just see if everybody.
You know what I'm
Oh,
saying?
it's complete. Okay.
Let me send my people. Y'all want a piece of my reps?
You might want to roll.
Yeah, he said,
Get out of here.
You want a piece of my representatives? The ones that are supposed to be helping?
Yeah.
I gotta get talking about it. But
God. Guys, I appreciate y'all tuning in.
I do
Yeah.
want to mention one more thing.
Do it.
Verse 18 of chapter 13. It's a very this is always
What
stuck out to
chapter?
me.
What
Chapter
chapter?
13, verse 18. This always stuck out to me when I started reading scripture. Growing up, we hear that, we're not perfect. Can't be perfect.
Right.
Perfect.
Yeah. I was thinking that.
Verse 18 says, "Now therefore walk before me and be perfect. And guard my commands, for to you and your seed I will give this land for inheritance, from the river of Mizraim unto the great river of Parah." And this is not the first time in the scriptures where it's telling us to
Be perfect.
be perfect. God follow these things and be perfect. But growing up, everybody's saying, "Oh, we can't be perfect. We can't be perfect." So that leaves room. That leaves room for
Lukewarmness.
lukewarmness.
Well, hold up. Now, hold on. You opened up a big can of worms here.
Yeah.
Because you got a lot of people who believe they can raise their hand, bow their head, and say the Lord's Prayer, and they save forever.
Yeah.
And because of that simple act, their position in heaven solidified.
Right.
Listen,
Well,
that's not true.
That's not the truth.
God wouldn't tell you to be perfect if you couldn't do it.
Hey, he ain't gonna never tell you nothing you can't do.
No,
Right.
no. And you know you ain't good enough.
And won't know what called perfect.
Sitting there at the house.
Perfect, walk
Right,
all
and
his
then-
ways.
To speak on that, it makes me think of like Enoch, because I was thinking to myself like, wow, it would be nice to be so right with God. He's just like, just pluck you out the whole equation,
Yeah.
have you do something else. Like, I mean, like not to do something else, but I just like it's just so like amazing to think about like how you can be so right with God that He's just like, you know what. You're too like logged in to even be here.
You don't
I
even
put you in this.
You don't even gotta finish. You
Yeah.
come with me. Let's roll.
Hey, if we're gonna finish off on that note, let me break it. Let me go a little step further.
Okay.
If you can be perfect like Enoch, that's the type of company you want to keep.
Yeah.
You want to keep company
Right.
with somebody who's striving to walk perfect in the sight of God.
Otherwise,
Because-
you'd be in disgust of him.
Hey, listen.
Because
Because
it's a
when God, and listen, when God came and said, "Hey, Enoch, come on," guess what? The folks that was hanging around him that wouldn't leave him, they've gone somewhere as a result of their friendship with this man, their
Oh yeah,
connection
oh
with
for
this man.
sure, for
Do
sure.
you get what I'm telling
Oh
you?
yeah, oh yeah, and then that's why I really love reading about Enoch because it talks about like how everyone around him is just
Right.
getting elevated to
Right.
the next freaking degree.
They said, hey, we don't want you're leaving? Hey, don't make you
They said,
separate
"Don't
us.
take
We gotta
us,
die."
please." They said, "Please take us."
You gonna have to kill
Don't make you
us.
separate us.
We ain't going nowhere.
You ain't killing me?
How are y'all gonna take the homeboy that is saving all?
That's saving all this. What is wrong with you, man? He said, hey, we gotta follow this guy.
Hey, I'm not letting him go.
Bro, he's my brother. You help me.
He said, hold on, you only gonna take him?
Him?
We listen.
We hold
Just
on
him.
tight.
You gonna have to kill us. You gonna have to kill us, guys, for holding on to this righteous man.
And you know what's crazy? That reminds me of Jesus, like, because it's like
Well, they follow that. Yeah.
they all sense that urge of like, wow, this guy is so freaking normal. We gotta kill him. Like, there's no way. Like,
They said, nah, we gotta get him out of here.
Yeah, he's helping way too many people.
right? Yeah.
And I wanted to add on when you were saying that if like you would want to be around somebody that's trying to strive to be perfect, or else you're gonna be disgusted with it.
Right. Yeah.
It's a scripture that speaks about that. Proverbs 29:27. An unjust man is an abomination to the just, and he that is upright in the way is an abomination to the wicked. That's how it works.
Yeah.
What we do and seem as good is disgusting to them, and what they do and seem as good is disgusting to us.
Yeah. I mean, the spirit is in contrary to the flesh. So if you're trying to live in the spirit, how you gonna live with someone that's living in the flesh and expect not to be contrary of some sort?
That's true.
We get odds all the time.
All the
Right.
time, bro.
Hey, so if you save someone from the flesh and they look to you to be their leader,
Yeah, you better.
you best stay locked in.
You have to.
Right. Yeah.
If you're not locked in, all else fails.
Yeah,
You-
definitely.
If Enoch would have folded once, oh man,
Oh yeah, people like backslide it.
yeah, that
Yeah.
would have been bad. Even if Noah or Shem, because that's where Abram went to go be taught, or even if Abram would have let me get off this, let me get off this right here. He would have been caught up with Haran, bones burnt, everything gone.
Man, I can't imagine what Tara's wife was thinking. I mean, you know he got some tongue lashings. You know what I'm saying? What you just do to our sons?
You done sacrifice one of
What?
them.
One of them.
Matter of fact, you done sacrifice both
Both
of
of
them. In your mind.
Yo, what you married? You better consider who you get married to.
Yeah.
So and then I married you. So
I ain't gonna say.
And the only way I get to the Lord is through you.
Oh my God.
Something is wrong here. Hey, something is wrong here. But the Bible's gonna harmonize and break it down because it ain't over.
Yeah, it's not.
We're gonna get an understanding. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. We'll see you next time when we're podcasting again. We want more live. We want more in our lives this next time. So y'all prepare. We're gonna do it again.
Monday.
What? Monday?
Monday? Everybody meet on Monday?
All right.
Monday
We'll
or
see y'all
Tuesday?
again.
Monday? Monday. All right.
We'll see y'all guys again on Monday, and stay tuned for Saturday night. We'll send out a schedule for when we're going to podcast Monday, so you can be with us when we go live.
Thank you for tuning in. So like and subscribe.
Like, comment, subscribe, and
Right.
share.
Share.
Don't forget to get you a copy of the Holy Scriptures by going to truthandpod.com.
That's
Get your
right.
copy. Follow along with us. Podcast.
it's gonna be good. We get some questions in there.
I know. That was good. I like that.